It's like a bad connection.
Something's going on.
Really?
All right, ready?
Ready.
Yep. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Brooklyn College Bulldog Basketball on YouTube.com. I'm Pat Brown. Look at my partner, Zach Butnick. And we're going to bringing you the first game of this doubleheader between the Brooklyn College Bulldogs and the College of Staten Island Dolphins. And Zach, welcome back. First of all, glad that you're feeling better.
Thank you. Feeling loads better now. It's don't take anything for granted.
Yeah, most definitely. Well, we got a big game here. Brooklyn College lost 83-77 when they went to College of Staten Island. It's kind of a revenge game, and both teams are on a real good swing.
Yeah, it's going to be a huge game because you got a lot that took place over the summer, and primarily College of Staten Island becoming a Division II school, and they've always been a formidable powerhouse, especially against the Brooklyn College Bulldogs, as we know that these two teams have faced off against each other in the finals in a number of years. The Bulldogs, last time they faced each other, the Bulldogs prevailed. But this season, the Dolphins are still playing the CUNYAC teams, but it's not counting towards the standings. And the last time these two teams played against each other, it was still very tight, but the Dolphins were able to pull away almost all their starting five with double digits, especially being led by their number one players, Megan McEwen and Jada Rogers, who are going to be very strong for these Dolphins tonight.
They are very strong. They attack the basketball. They like to get in the transition just like the Bulldogs do. I talked to Coach Alex Lang about what happened in that first game. He said they really didn't get into a rhythm. They didn't get into a swing. And then they weren't talking on defense, gave up a lot of transition baskets. He said they're going to work better on that tonight and that they're better for that month since they played CSI, so he's looking for a lot of improvement.
But the good thing that took place after that game is that the Bulldogs went on an 8-game winning streak with their final game winning the other night against the City College of New York. So now they're coming in tonight here at the West Quad looking for their 9th straight win, and hopefully they'll be able to get it against these Dolphins.
And they want to stay undefeated, want to get that number one seed in the tournament, get that bye, play at home in the semifinals. So that's what they're looking to do, and they're getting ready to do the playing of the national anthem. And right after that, we will get you the starting lineups of both teams. You're listening to Brooklyn College Bulldog Basketball on YouTube.com. And there is a playing of our national anthem. Let's get right to the starting lineups for the College of Staten Island Dolphins. You have the 5'4" junior guard from Staten Island, New York, number 1, Megan McEwen. The 5'7" freshman guard from the Bronx, New York, number 10, Jada Rogers. The 5'9" senior forward from Staten Island, number 13, Diana Todaro. 5'9" junior forward from Staten Island, number 14, Brianna Robisky. And the sophomore 6-foot forward from Staten Island, number 25, Kayla Schmitter. For your Brooklyn College Bulldogs, you have the 5'5" junior guard from Elmhurst, New York, number 2, Michelle Pena. You have the 5-foot senior from Whitehall, Pennsylvania, number 22, Taylor George. You have the 5'10" freshman forward from Brooklyn, New York, number 24, Sarah James. Her sister, the 5'8 freshman guard from Brooklyn, New York, number 32, Erica James, and the 5'9 junior forward from Brooklyn, New York, number 33, Chanel Jamat.
One thing I'm really looking forward to seeing in this game is there are going to be a lot of things I'm looking forward to seeing in this game. One thing, College of Staten Island has maybe a secret weapon on their bench. Number 31, DJ Foster, the freshman forward, 5'10", went to James Madison High School. You know who else went to James Madison High School? Sarah James and Erica James. So these three players have won a championship a few seasons ago in high school, and now they're facing against each other in the college level. And hey, something can happen out of it.
It's always fun when you play against former teammates. You know, a little camaraderie, a little one-on-one competition going. I'm sure they had that when they were on the same team.
Oh, absolutely. But the big thing is we've seen this time and again with Coach Lang and his Bulldogs. It doesn't matter who they are playing against. They always want to play a complete game. You never want to get away from any fundamentals. You don't want to cause any fun.
Pena brings the ball up forward. The Bulldogs' first possession. Gets it to George over into the left wing. Sorry, right wing, I should say. Holding the ball, gets it to Erica James, gets it to her sister Sarah, swings it over to Michelle Pena. 9 on the shot clock. Gives it to Jamat. Jamat goes baseline. 5 on the shot clock, puts up the jumper. No good. Rebounded by Erica James.
But nice patience by Chanel Jamat.
But Sarah traveled after the offensive rebound.
I think they wanted to make a quick play just to get the basket and get on the board first. It's been a very interesting season for the College of Staten Island Dolphins because now they're D2. They've been playing teams at D3, D2, and in D1 this season.
That is true. Good defense by Erica. Gets it over to Schmitter. Schmitter drives, guarded by James. Jamat. We got a foul against Chanel Jamat, and Jamat in that first game got into early foul trouble, so they definitely want to stay away from that as she picks up her first.
Looking at the Bulldogs bench, Coach Lang, the head coach, he's not electing to not make any moves thus far.
8:56 left to go in the first quarter. No score. So it's McEwen with the ball, guarded by George on the left side. Swings it. Good defense. Jamat on Schmitter. Spin move. Puts it up. No good. But she gets her own rebound. Throws the shot back up and puts it in. That is Tadero. And it's the first basket of the evening. Pena brings it up. Gets a pick by Jamat. Gets into the paint. Pulls it back out. Gets it to Sarah James. Top of the key. Swings it back over to Erica James. Goes baseline. Puts up the shot off the glass. No good. Rebounded. But taken away by George. But stolen back by College of Staten Island. Gets it ahead. And out. Nope. It's saved to McEwen.
Nice work by Jada Rogers to catch up and get the ball, keep it back into the court.
Little sloppy there on both courts, but the Dolphins maintain possession. 23 on the shot clock. Get the ball in to McEwen. McEwen drives the right side on the wing. Gets it down. We got an offensive foul against number 25, Schmitter, and that's her first, and the team's first. Schmitter got called for the elbow hook.
Trying to figure out who has momentum so far. You're usually able to tell in the very beginning who has the momentum. And right now, even though the Bulldogs are up by, are they up? No, it's CSI is up. You really don't see much.
Michelle Pena can't telegraph that pass. Almost stolen by McEwen.
Yeah, from my vantage point, it's just difficult to see the scoreboard. But now they're uploading everything, so now we can see who is doing what and where.
Yes. So ball inbounded to Taylor George. George holds. Gets into the corner to Jamat. Jamat swings it back to the top of the key to Pena. Pena to Sarah James. Sarah James gets the ball into Jamat. Jamat with 5 seconds puts up the jumper. No good. Rebounded by Rogers. And he traveled.
Ooh. When she got the ball, you could see that she slipped a little bit, and so that's what the official is calling.
So Brooklyn College gets a break right there. They're still down 2-0 with 7:36 left to go in the first quarter. Jamat to inbound. Gets it to Pena. Pena holding on the right wing. And we have
3-second violation in the paint.
No, they're calling a foul. We'll see who it's on. It's on.
Oh, wow.
Number 13, that is Tadaro. That's her first, the team's second.
Yeah, because that happened in the paint. I thought they were just standing still.
So George has the inbound pass on the wing, drives to the baseline, puts up the layup, I should say, but ball is taken by McEwen. McEwen gets it to Rogers, puts up the shot, no good. And Pena tried to get the rebound, but knocked it out of bounds. So 20 seconds back on the shot clock, but good defense interior by James and Jamat to force the bad shot.
You know, the last play by Taylor George, it was a simple layup. It's not like her to miss a basket like that. So I'm just curious if the Dolphins have matched up to the intensity that the Bulldogs are not used to seeing. Let me rephrase that. I think the Dolphins are just putting up a little too much, and the Bulldogs are trying to find a way to catch up.
And Schmitter puts up the shot, but rebounded by Jamat. Jamat quickly gets the ball up court, still dribbling, gets it over to Pena, and we got a foul. Oh, they call a double dribble. It looked like the ball was partially deflected.
I heard the whistle. I thought they were calling a foul against Jada Rogers because I saw some contact.
I thought that too, but they called a double dribble. So it's going to be Rubisky inbounding to McEwen. It's still 2-0 with 7 minutes left to go in the quarter.
I feel like this is just a very defensive-minded game for both teams.
Good job by Erica James, and ball stolen. Dive on the floor. It's going to be a jump ball. Possession arrow pointing to the Bulldogs.
Yeah, there are not a whole lot of shots getting off. You could tell that both teams are doing a great job collapsing in the paint. You know, Chanel Jamat is usually dominant offensively in the paint, and she hasn't been able to get in that much.
Well, both these teams know each other very, very well, and they know who the team's strengths are, and that's what you want to do. You want to take away that team's strength. So Pena brings the ball up, guarded by Rogers. On the right side, gets it over to Erica James. James drives, puts up the shot, off the glass, no good. Offensive rebound by Jamat. She pulls it back out.
She had to pull out because she can't get good control in the paint.
Sarah James shoot the three, misses, gets it to McEwen. McEwen drives to the baseline, knocked out of bounds, but a foul going to be called on Michelle Pena as Jamat came across and blocked the shot.
Coach Lang not happy with the call. I'm just looking at the bench. Around this time, just the way both teams are playing, normally you would see Coach Lang call a timeout just to get his team to reset because they're playing very well, even though they haven't been able to get any points yet. Yeah, it's only 3-0 College of Staten Island.
And it's almost halfway through the first quarter, so very defensive-minded game so far. McEwen knocks down both free throws. They're up by 4.
Yeah, normally we see a team up with like 10-point, at least the 10-point mark by now.
So College Staten Island showing a full court press. Jamat swings it over to Sarah. Sarah James to George. George pulls it back out with 20 on the shot clock. They're resetting. George into the paint. Swings it out to Erica James. She shoots the three. No good. And off the rim.
Both Erica and Sarah James, as well as Taylor George, are amazing from three-point range. And yet, now they're just, I wouldn't say slacking, but they can't seem to be able to finish the play. They're not feeling the pressure anymore, and they still can't get the basket in. So I'm really curious as to what's going on in the mindset of these Bulldogs.
Well, they changed the possession back to Brooklyn College, saying the ball was deflected, and we have an offensive foul
away from the
play. And
play.
that's Jamat's second. And the same thing happened in the first game. She got into early foul trouble, and she's got to come out. Sarah Labiner is going to come in for Jamat, and Jamat is definitely not happy right now.
Can you blame her?
No.
They shut her down offensively. The Dolphins did a great job in shutting down Chanel Jamat, who is one of the top players for these Bulldogs in the last few seasons, this season, and at least a couple more seasons. One more season.
Right. Rogers has it over to Rubisky to Schmitter. Schmitter at the foul line, puts up the shot. No good. Rebounded by Labiner. We get the ball up to Pena. Pena into the paint. Pulls it back at the foul line. Gets it over to Sarah James. Back to George. 15 on the shot clock. Labiner on the left block. Puts it down. Oh, offensive foul.
It's a good call. If it weren't for that, it would have been just a textbook play for the Bulldogs, and they would have gotten the opening points.
So right now, Brooklyn College has 4 team fouls. One more and CSI will be in the bonus. Brooklyn College now has Dasha Goodman in.
Yeah, so Sarah James is going to sit, and Brianna Rubisky is going to sit, and in is, I believe it's number 15? Yeah, number 15, Christina Arvello.
Double teamed in the paint, and we got a jump ball possession arrow to CSI.
Very defensive-minded again. I'm not used to calling games like this. I don't know what to say.
It's good basketball.
I'm so used to saying excellent read by the teams, good shots, they're making the baskets. It's only 4-0 with 5 minutes to go. Am I watching a hockey game?
McEwen now gets hot. It's now 6-0 early with 4:55 left to go in the first. The first time they got an open shot in the paint. So Goodman swings it over to Erica James, to Labiner on the block. Swings it back over to George, back over to Erica James. She goes into paint, puts up the shot, no good. Fighting for the rebound, it comes to Rogers. Rogers now brings the ball up court down the right side. Guarded by George. Swings it over to Schmitter. Schmitter to McEwen. McEwen guarded by Painter. Off the dribble, gets it down into the block. Swings it back out to Schmitter. Top of the key. Gets it to McEwen. McEwen spots up, but drives, gets it to Rogers.
Ooh, nice move.
Rogers drives, puts it up and in. And right now, Brooklyn College is on a donut with 6 minutes gone in this first quarter. Erica James drives baseline, puts it up, and gets the roll. Finally a basket for the Bulldogs. It's 8-2, 4 minutes left.
Bulldogs finally getting some life into them.
Arvello back to McEwen. Brooklyn College showing the press. Back to Arvello. Arvello to Schmitter. Schmitter drives, pulls it up, swings it over to McEwen. McEwen drives into the paint. And they say she was tripped by George and the basket went in.
I'm just amazed with how Megan McEwen is playing, just driving into the paint. And as she was tripping, she gets the ball up and in.
So Schmitter comes out, and here comes Deidre Forster for the Dolphins.
For the Bulldogs, Labiner is going to sit, and in is now number 11, Kayla Trombone. Also, Dasha Goodman is in.
McEwen
number
shoots.
35.
And misses the shot, rebounded by Sarah James. So 10-2 is the score. Erica James has it into the paint, backs it down, swings it back out to George. George resets off the dribble, swings it over to Goodman. Goodman to Erica James. Bad pass, but she picks it up, goes into the paint, off the glass, no good. Fight for the rebound, goes to George. George pulls it back out and resets. Into the paint. Oh, good job by deflection by number 13, Tadaro. Gets over to McEwen. McEwen to Tadaro. Double teed on the block. Good job. Puts it up and gets the roll. That's Foster, and timeout called by Brooklyn.
Oh, much needed timeout for Coach Lang of his Bulldogs, because now the Dolphins are able to find a way to get into the paint and get the shots off, and the Bulldogs just don't have a response. You just look at Coach Lang. I've never seen him this angry at his team. He's doing anything he can to wake them up, because offensively, in the beginning it was just all defensive-minded, and then they started shooting for three, and they couldn't seem to connect. They only have the one basket, and they are trailing by 10. This is not like the Bulldogs we've seen in the last 8 games.
No, it's not. And right now, I think Coach Lang is very angry at the effort. That I don't think you're seeing the natural Brooklyn College Bulldog energy on the court. And they gave up 2 straight easy baskets in the paint, and I know he does not like that.
And to say that this is going to be the toughest game that they're going to be playing is an understatement, because the next 2 games on the road at Baruch and then at John Jay, those are going to be critical games for these Bulldogs. Especially for conference play.
Erica James gets it to Trombone. Trombone has a pick from James. Trombone pulls at the foul line in the paint.
Nice zone defense by the Dolphins.
Dasha Goodman goes baseline, swings it over to Erica James. Erica James shoots the 3. No good. Foster on the rebound. So nothing falling for the Bulldogs. They're down by 10 with 2.5 left to go in this first quarter.
I feel like Erica James just nervous. She has not enough time to get the 3-point shot, but you don't want to go for a basket like that.
We got a 3-second violation on the Dolphins. So that time Forster got caught after she got the pass in the paint, passed it back out, but stayed in the paint and got called for the 3-second violation. Brooklyn College has to get some kind of offensive continuity going. I know the shot didn't go, but you got to move around.
But they're trying, and they can't get into the paint. Nice defensive play by Jada Rogers to knock the pass out of number 24, Sarah James's hands and out of bounds. Still Bulldogs ball, but Dolphins are they are dictating how the play takes place in the paint.
Ball is inbounded to Goodman. Goodman over to Trembone. Trembone holds, dribbles, gets it over to James. James over to her sister. Erica drives to George. George shoots the three. No good. High off the glass and knocked out of bounds by Goodman. It's going to be Dolphin basketball.
Kayla Richburn is coming in for the Bulldogs. She knows how to bring in life for this team, as you've seen time and again when she is healthy, and she is now, and I'm now excited because now the Bulldogs might be able to get something generating.
She can penetrate and dish. Brooklyn College into the press. And now it goes to Tadaro. Tadaro over to Avino, puts up the three and banks it home.
Nothing but board in that.
So right now, Brooklyn College needs some kind of offensive flow. As Sarah has it over to Erica. Erica back to Richburg on the right side. 20 on the shot clock.
As soon as she finds the lane, she's going to drive in.
Goodman takes a deep three, and it's good. Boy, did they need that.
I was thinking like the Dolphins. They thought Kaylin was going to drive into the paint. I saw that, and then she threw it back to Goodman for the three-point basket.
Arvello now on the right side. Pulls it back out, guarded by Richburg, 18 on the shot clock. A minute left to go in the quarter, 15-5 is the score. Back to Foster. Foster into the paint to Tadaro. Nice backdoor pass to McEwen, and the basket's good.
It's not the first backdoor pass I've seen in this game made by the Dolphins.
Sarah James shoots the three. No good. Rebounded by Rogers. They do an excellent job of boxing out. Tadaro for the jumper, and it's good. And this is what Coach was talking about in that first game. No transition defense, as now the lead is up to 14. Brooklyn College has the ball. 1 second differential between shot clock and game clock. The lowest scoring output of the season for Brooklyn College in a quarter.
It's uncharacteristic of them.
Goodman with 10 on the shot clock. Erica James. Oh, ball went off her foot and stolen by Richburg with 3 seconds. 2, 1, puts up the shot. Ooh. No good, but at the end of the first, Brooklyn College find themselves down by 14, 19-5, and right away, Zach, nothing going right for the Bulldogs so far.
No, not at all. It's not like them because they are able to penetrate the paint. And now with Chanel Jamat, you could see when she was on the court, she was just so frustrated, can't seem to get in. And then she whistled for the early fouls. And now the Bulldogs are trying to find a new way of getting some scoring done. You've got I'm getting tongue twisted. Sarah and Erica James. They are usually a strong offensive push for these Bulldogs, and from three-point range, I feel like they're taking ill-advised shots. They seem to be a bit nervous because they're not finishing the plays, and as soon as the Bulldogs try to get into the paint, the Dolphins are just way on top of them and stealing the ball away. But offensively for the Dolphins, holy smokes. It's like they've studied this tape of the Harlem Globetrotters with those backdoor passes and overhead passes, just the way they're moving the ball around, especially by Megan McEwen and Jada Rogers. I am very impressed with how these Dolphins are playing. You can tell that they deserve to be in Division II elite league with the rest of the Division II schools, and the fact that they've been playing against Division I schools, they definitely learned something from them.
Oh, most definitely, and you have to play to the level of your competition, and right now, the Bulldogs aren't matching that intensity, and that's what you want to see. You want to see them match the intensity, and that intensity should translate into execution.
But with Kaylin Richburn on the court for the Bulldogs, the guard 5'3" grad student from Brooklyn, New York, went to Medgar Evers Prep, and she has the ball right now. You know that she's going to be making some magic for this Bulldogs. Look at that.
Knocks down the three. You hit it right on the money.
If that is not magic, I don't know what is.
Well, keep bringing it because they need it. It's 19-8 now, 9-point deficit. Ball swung over to McEwen. Back over to Arvello. Arvello down low to Rogers. Rogers to Foster. Foster puts it up, no good. Fights for the rebound, gets it, and going to be taken by Richburg, but the possession arrow stays to Staten Island. But good job by Richburg hustling and not letting Foster get the shot back up.
In that sequence, I don't remember the last time the ball hit the court. They just, as soon as the Dolphins got the ball, they immediately threw it to another teammate. It was literally like watching the Russian Five from the Detroit Red Wings back in the early 90s. As soon as they get the puck, they immediately get it to the next teammate. They don't hold on to it. And that's exactly what the Dolphins did. They just couldn't finish the play.
Richburg just got called for a reach-in foul. That's her first, the team's first. Arvello comes in for CSI, and Taylor George comes in for Brooklyn College, along with Nancy Pham. Pham's in for Trombone. So Brooklyn College trying to find some continuity on the floor. Rogers to Schmitter.
See, they're not dropping the ball at all. They're
McEwen went to the travel.
I think McEwen wanted to continue passing the ball, but you couldn't find anybody open, and it was just a quick hesitation that she elected to bounce the ball, which is where she got whistled for the travel. But it's just the same sequence again. They're moving the ball around fast without letting the ball hit the court.
Well, that's what you want, ball movement and get the defense off. Richburg swings it over to Pham for three. And it's good! Nancy Pham knocks down the second consecutive three, and now the lead is down to 8.
And who got the assist on that?
Richburg. So now it's Arvello. McEwen gets it across to Schmitter to Foster. Foster puts it up, and good. A foul is going to be on Sarah James.
Sarah James and Deidre Foster, former teammates in high school.
So Foster trying to complete the three-point play, and does.
Without hesitation. You see so many players just like they get into tunnel vision, they get into focus, they want to slow things down when they're at the charity stripe. Not Deidre Foster. She's like, all right, give me the ball, in. Let's continue to play.
Tell you the truth, CSI is in a 1-3-1 defense, and Brooklyn College has not been able to solve it, but Pham knocks down her second three.
I thought for certain that ball was being tipped when Pham shot the ball up. It's stolen by Richburg.
Goes down to the paint and gets the foul call. I think it's going to be on Foster, but I'm not sure.
But now it's 22-14. Bulldogs trailing. Kayla Richburg brought in some energy for these Bulldogs.
Yes, indeed. You called it. That was on number 15, Arvello. So Richburg's going to go to the line to shoot two. It's 22-11 with 8:14 left to go in the first half. Richburg misses the first one off the back iron. Sarah Labiner checks in. Richburg misses both shots. Rebounded by Schmitter.
Yeah, you can't miss those golden opportunities, especially when you're playing against a team like the Dolphins.
Got to sink the free. 10-second violation as Staten Island got caught dozing.
Yeah, it's a lucky break for the Bulldogs.
And there was no press, so there's no reason why they couldn't get it across. 8:03 left in the half. Ball's inbounded to Richburg. Richburg, ball it now. CSI goes into a 2-3. Richburg into the paint to Labiner. Labiner, oh, stolen away.
Yeah, what Labiner should have done is she should have just turned and fired the layup from the left.
Cueing to Rogers. Rogers turns, throws it up, no good. Rebounded by Pham.
See, that's the simple play you need to make at the paint. And what Labiner wanted to do was try to throw it back out to, I think she wanted to throw it back out to Taylor George or hand it back to Kayla Richburg.
She could have just turned over and backed Foster down, tell you the truth.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah. So into the corner to Pham. Pham to Labiner. Labiner puts it up and missed. Oh, it went in and out, rebounded by Robisky.
And when you do a play like that, assuming you're able to finish, the likelihood of you possibly drawing a foul is pretty significant.
So McEwen now at the right side, guarded by George. Swings it over to Arvello. Arvello gets a pick. Gets it to Foster. Foster down low to Schmitter. Schmitter traveled. Good job by Labiner, not letting her get comfortable on the block. 7:02 left to go. It's 22-14, and timeout called, 30-second timeout by the Dolphins.
I feel like that's the only weakness of the Dolphins is the constant traveling. So how do the Bulldogs find a way to exploit that weakness of the Dolphins? I mean, you know basketball more than I do, so I think you might know the way to do it. But the one thing that I'm seeing is the Dolphins are moving the ball around very fast offensively, and I think the Bulldogs are really getting into their faces that they can't seem to be able to finish that fast passing game that they've been doing. When I said the fast passing game, I'm used to seeing the ball going around the perimeter, not a tic-tac-toe play without the ball bouncing. And I think that's what the Dolphins have been trying to do, especially with the last few plays. And now it's, well, what are they doing next?
Well, what CSI is doing is it's not just the quick passes. It's what's happening as the ball is being passed. As they're passing it down to the low post, you see in backdoor screens, allowing the guard to swing around and get open on the other side of the court. That's why you're seeing open swing passes going across the court. For Brooklyn College, what they need to do is maintain, fight through the screen so the person's not open.
I couldn't have said it better myself, so thank you for saying it for me.
No problem. So Richburg has it at the top of the key. Gets it over to George. George spots, shoots the three. No good. Rebounded by Foster. Foster gets it to McEwen. Gets it over to Schmitter. And Pham tried to play defense on the bigger Schmitter, but Schmitter got the best of her and put the ball in the basket.
That was just a quick transition play.
So now it's Dr. Goodman gets it to George. George fake. Oh, kickball by Foster. 20 seconds on the shot clock, and now you have changes as Schmitter and Velo come out.
That's a lucky break for Taylor George, because in watching her come in from the right, you could tell that she had a quick stutter step, and I thought for certain that she was going to lose the ball as she was handcuffing it and maybe get whistled for a travel.
So Tadero and Rogers check back in for the Dolphins, and checking back in is Sarah James for the Bulldogs. Gets the ball into Goodman. Goodman behind the back. Picks up the dribble. Gets it to George in the paint. Deflected, but back to Goodman. Back to Richburg. 10 on the shot clock. Richburg breaks it down. Dribble. Puts it up. Blocked. Wow. But gets the rebound. Back to Goodman. Goodman for three. It's good!
Nice work by Kayla Richburg to stick with the ball. She was being double-teamed and blocked, but never let go of the ball and was able to get it back out to Goodman.
Back to McEwen. Back to Rogers. Rogers into the corner to Dell. Oh, backdoor. Nobody paid attention, and an easy layup for number 13, Tadero.
Bulldogs are a bit out of place defensively, and the Dolphins are taking advantage of it with the quick tic-tac-toe play.
I don't think the press is going to be effective against CSI right now. You just drop back and guard against the quick passes.
And then allow them to get the easy layups?
No. What I'm saying is don't press, because when they break the press, it's 2-on-1. As Richburg shot the three, rebounded by James. Back to Goodman, and she's fouled on the three-point shot. It does not go in, but she's going to have 3 free throws.
Oh, could you imagine if that ball went in? This place would have been exploding.
So that is on to Darrow. That's her second, the team's second. 5:23 left to go in the second quarter. It's 26-17. The Dolphins are up as Richburg is going to sit down. Michelle Payne comes in, and now Erica James comes in for Nancy Pham, who hit 2 of 2 from three-point range.
Yeah, Kaylin Richburg and Nancy Pham did a great job of waking up these Bulldogs.
And Goodman misses the first free throw. She's got 2 more. Got to knock both of these down. Front rimmed it.
You're playing against a strong team like these Dolphins, and that's 4 free throws that are missed by the Bulldogs, and that could have
closed the gap.
That could have closed the gap. We could have been down by 5 at this point.
And she hits the third one at least. So it's an 8-point lead. McEwen has it, swings it over to Rogers. Rogers brings the ball up, gets it into the corner, swings it back to Rogers. Rogers over to McEwen. McEwen to Darrow. To Darrow to Foster. Foster back to McEwen. She misses the ball, but Payne is right on her. 10 on the shot clock. McEwen driving. Blocked by Sarah James. I'm sorry, that was Goodman that blocked it. Ball goes out of bounds off after block. and only 7 seconds left on the shot clock for the Dolphins.
Oh, I thought McEwen still had the ball when the ball went out of bounds.
It looked that way.
7 seconds on the shot clock.
Ball into Tadaro. Off the
3
dribble,
seconds.
3 seconds, shot up, and good. You can't allow them to get in the paint with 3 seconds left to go. Pena on the dribble, gets it over to Sarah James. Sarah James to Erica James on the wing for 3, no good. Rebounded by Foster.
Look at this, Hail Mary pass.
Rogers got it. Oh, we got a foul.
Going against Brooklyn.
Yes. I think it's Goodman on the reach in. Nope, they got Pena for it. That's her third. Pena has 3 fouls, and she's going to have to sit down after Brooklyn College takes a timeout.
Full timeout, and I believe Chanel Jamat, no, sorry, she's standing right now, so that's why I saw her standing, because I thought she was checking in. I would like to see Chanel Jamat get back into this game.
He's going to hold her for the second half, I
know.
believe.
But the Bulldogs, now that they finally have some momentum on their side, they need somebody like Jamad and Taylor George and both James sisters to really wake up and get their game going, because those 4 are very lethal offensively, and tonight they really don't have much.
Well, I have to go back to that last offensive series for CSI. 7 seconds on the shot clock. You cannot allow them to penetrate and get to the basket easily. I don't know who lost their woman on the drive, but somebody missed an assignment, and she actually did a elbow from the foul line around the wing down the lane, and nobody picked her up for an easy layup.
Yeah, you're absolutely right on that. So that was a good full timeout call by the Bulldogs in order to reset themselves so that way they could get things going.
So timeout is over. 4:33 left to go. Brooklyn down by 10, 28-18.
Kayla Trebowen going to check back in for the Bulldogs.
Sarah Labina checked in during the timeout. She's going to be on Foster. So Rogers is going to be inbounding the ball. 26 seconds on the shot clock. Gets it to Foster. Foster misses the shot.
The unfriendly roll.
And diving for the ball. McEwen picks it up. Gets it to Arveno. Vienna to Rogers for a 2. No good. Rebounded by Erica James. Erica James.
Lucky break for the Bulldogs. They seem to be out of position on that last sequence.
Pena to Sarah James. Sarah James holding to Erica James. Down the lane to George. George gets the basket. A good look by Erica James.
Nice work, Taylor George, getting on the board for these Bulldogs.
So again, Brooklyn College in the press. Gets it to Foster. Foster holds back to Arvelo, I should say. She's picked up by George, pulls the ball back out. Gets it over to Rogers. Rogers guarded by Sarah James. At the foul line, puts up the shot, partially blocked, and Taylor George comes away with it. George speeding down the court, gets it to Pena. Pena to Labina. Labina blocked, but gets a rebound. Blocked again from behind. Labina puts it back up, and 3 straight blocks by Foster. McEwen down the lane, puts it up, no good. Rebounded by George. George back the other way. George puts the layup up and does not get the basket, but picks up the foul on number 14, Rabisky, her first. And George is going to go to the line. What a series of events going back and forth.
All right, Sarah Labiner is 6'4". Deirdre Foster is 5'10". Foster blocked 3 shots in a row by Sarah Labiner in the paint. Wow, I don't know how Labiner was not able to finish that play, but good work by Deirdre Foster in order to stop that.
She didn't jump. If she jumps and uses her height, the ball doesn't get blocked. George misses the first free throw. Again, when you get these opportunities, you have to knock them down. They're free points. George knocks down 1 of 2. The lead is now down to 7. Right now, CSI has not scored in the last minute and 42 seconds. Brooklyn College in a light press as McEwen gets it to Arvelo. Arvelo picked up by Trembone, who checked in. On the right side, gives it to Rogers, guarded by Erica James. Swings over to McEwen. McEwen guarded by George. Picks it up. Looking for somebody. Gets it to Foster. Back door. No good. Rebounded by Goodman. Goodman pulls it down. Gets it over Trembone. Trembone holds. Pulls the ball back out. Calling a play. Now goes to the right side. Into the paint. Swings it back over to Goodman. Goodman into the paint. Puts up the shot. No good. And it's going to stay Brooklyn College basketball with 12 seconds on the shot clock.
Bulldogs are getting something going here.
What they're doing is they're attacking the paint, which is good.
Because they finally have been able to find a way in.
George puts up the shot. No good, but gets her own rebound.
Nice work, Taylor George.
Reset the shot clock. Back to Trembone. Trembone calling a play. 2:20 left to go in the half. Trembone pulls it, swings it back to Goodman. Goodman over to George with 5 seconds on the shot clock. George pulls up. You got to put up the shot. Oh, she got knocked down. No foul. I don't know how it's not a foul, but it would have been a shot clock violation anyway. But I thought she got pushed down to the ground.
Looks like from our vantage point, that she got knocked down. Maybe she just tripped on her own 2 feet.
2 minutes left to go in the half. 28-21, Brooklyn down by 7. Gets it over to McEwen. McEwen on the right side. Swings it back over to Rubisky. Rubisky to Schmitter. Schmitter to Arvillo. Arvillo drives, fakes, puts it, stolen by George. Can she get to it? Yes, she does. Goes down the court. Puts the layup up and in.
Nice work, Taylor George, to steal that ball away and get the basket. Very easy basket for a player like Taylor George. She's been doing this all her career.
She averages just over 3.5 steals a game. McEwen now picks up, gets to Schmitter. Schmitter over to Rubisky. Rubisky over to Arvello. Arvello tied up by Trembone, and it's possession arrow Bulldogs.
Bulldogs are now within 5 points, and now Kalen Richburg is back in play for the Bulldogs.
Brooklyn College on a 5-0 run in the last 3 minutes. So now Arvello sits down. Rogers comes in. So now Richburg is in for Brooklyn College.
The magic hands.
CSI in the 2-3 zone now. Trembone into the paint. Gets it over to Sarah James. Fouled by number 14, Rubisky. She grabbed her on the arm. That's going to be the 4th team foul for CSI.
It was good timing. Good timing by Sarah James, because in the paint, being triple teamed, is not in a good position to get anything off.
So one more foul by CSI, and Brooklyn College will get the bonus. Goodman gets it to Richburg. Richburg spotting up the 3, pulls it back, off the dribble, into the paint, and no foul called, as they say the shot was blocked as McEwen comes back the other way. Check that as Rubisky coming back the other way. Swings it over to McEwen. And out of bounds, it's going to be whose ball?
It's still Dolphins' ball, but nice work by Sarah James to knock it out.
DeMontro, that is Elena DeMontro's in for CSI. Schmitter has it. Drives to the basket, and we're going to say stay here as they call a foul on 24. Sarah James, that's her second. Both teams have 4 fouls, and now Labiner comes in for Sarah James. So inbounding the ball is Rogers. 20 seconds on the shot clock. McEwen, back door, blocked by Labiner.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with this call because McEwen got knocked into.
They call the foul on who? Erica James, that's her first, but that's the team's 5th, and McEwen's going to go to the line to shoot 2. 38 seconds exactly left to go in the half. McEwen makes the first one. That's the first points in the last 4.5 minutes for CSI. 6-point lead for Staten Island.
You know, for a first quarter, it was like a no-show for the Bulldogs, and now the second quarter, they've really woken up and have caught up. Even though they're still trailing by 7, they have some life into them, and I'm now looking forward to the second half when you know that they are a dominant team, especially in the second half.
So now it's Richburg over the right side. 8. Labina puts it up, no good. And it's going to be a jump ball, but the possession arrow is going to stay to College of Staten Island. And Labina is not happy with not making that layup with the size advantage, as Taylor George is going to be allowed or not allowed. Yes, she is allowed to come in for Kayla Trembone. Nope, Trembone's going to stay, and Richburg is going to come out. Shot clock is off, 23.8 seconds left to go, so the Dolphins will hold for the last shot. McEwen brings the ball on the left side. Knocked out of bounds by George, as McEwen was careless with it, bouncing it right in front of her.
Nice work by Taylor George. She's not in the position to steal the ball or go in for a breakaway, but good work to knock it out of the hands to go out of bounds. And now Nancy Pham is going to come back in, so maybe they're going to try to go for a steal, perhaps.
Got to play good, smart defense with 15.4 seconds left. So it's DeMontro to inbound, and Schmitter, they get it in. Ball's taken by Pham.
There it is.
Pham's driving down the right side, goes into the paint, and they say,
wow, there was no foul on the play.
Call. It's great, and Coach Alex is like, come on, are you?
And that was all Nancy Pham. First she tips the ball as it was inbounded, and then there was a miscommunication between the Dolphin players, and Pham was able to steal it away and drive in.
3-point shot at the buzzer, and she knocks it home! That is Arvello with the 3. And right now, CSI takes a 10-point lead going into the half. And I'm going to gather my thoughts here because I don't want to ramble.
I don't want to either because I've done that in the past, but I think I know what you're thinking.
You get it down to 6. Your main goal is to maintain possession. Now, what they have been doing, which I'm loving, is they're attacking the paint.
Yeah.
They're getting the ball on the block, on the elbow, forcing the defense to collapse and then swinging the ball back open. Eventually, those 3-point shots are going to start falling. You would hope so.
Oh, without a doubt, especially in the second half.
So the offensive flow is being effective, but now on the defensive side, you can't have mental lapses. That's what's hurting them right now. Mental lapses at the wrong times and giving up easy baskets.
And what you're probably going to see is they might need to change their game up a little bit because the Dolphins have been able to go above and beyond what the Bulldogs are used to seeing. And that's how the Dolphins were able to win last month down at CSI. Bulldogs, they need to find, like you said, they need to find a way to be able to keep up with these Dolphins. I know I'm repeating myself, but it's true.
It's true. The energy has definitely picked up. And what you are seeing is 2 very good, well-coached teams trying to establish their dominance. Right now, CSI definitely has the upper hand, but you did see in between that 4 or 5 minute span that Brooklyn College can stay with them and can compete and can get the advantage. So what Coach Alice is going to do at halftime, he's going to settle them down, say, hey, I know it's a 10-point lead, but we have to do what we did for that 5 minute span in the second quarter. If you do that and maintain your defensive intensity, we can get back into this game and then get the lead, and then we have the advantage.
I agree with you, but there are 2 big things that I saw the Dolphins do offensively. 1, the backdoor passes. 2, the fast-paced passing without bouncing the ball at all, just all over the place, not around the perimeter, just like all over. It's just they haven't been they've been able to really dominate that, and the Bulldogs don't have an answer for it. But we didn't see it too many times in the first half, but I do expect the Dolphins to do more of that, especially around the home stretch in the fourth quarter.
Early in that first quarter and part of that second quarter, you are exactly right. Quick passes, skip passes to open people, but then they locked down that and forced CSI to play a slow half-court game.
Yeah.
And in that slow half-court game, the advantage went to Brooklyn College because they weren't giving up second shots, they weren't letting them get into the paint, and then they got their transition game going. So it's gonna be a test of wills. Who's gonna be more effective asserting their execution in the second half?
But now for the Bulldogs down by 10, this is a perfect time for them to take a break.
Oh, most definitely, because now you get a chance to regroup, settle yourself. Jamont now definitely is going to come back on the court with her 2 fouls, and let's see if she can establish herself, which CSI did a good job in that early part of the game, taking her out of her game. So let's see if she has some new tricks up her sleeve to get back into this ball game.
Yeah, and I'm going to need a break as well. Otherwise, I'm going to get caught up and get fouled too.
So you are listening to Brooklyn College Bulldog Basketball on YouTube.com. We're going to have, hopefully, Coach Carrie Gehring at halftime for an interview, but we're going to take a short break. It's going to be Pat Brown and Zach Butnick bringing you the action for the second half coming up in a short break. Jesus, 8 of 31 from the field. 8 of 31 from the field. Wow. Again, no foul calls. No foul calls. Jeez.
Well, there was only 2 plays that I saw when Taylor got just pushed to the ground.
Oh, yeah.
And earlier in that possession, I forget who had the ball, but they got, on the entry pass, they got hit on the arm. And there was no call. We're lucky we got handed.
Yeah, yes, most definitely.
Yes.
Most definitely. That 5-minute break where they put the clamps on was a godsend.
It's lucky it's only 10. You know, missed free throws, missed shots.
They missed 4 free throws in a row.
And just bad play. We did shot an espresso at half. It came out so slow.
0 for 4, and every time she's in the back, she's got to learn. She's got to jump. Yes, you're 6'4", you're taller than everybody. What jump?
It's your forward.
Yeah.
It's not even jumping. It's just she likes to just catch it
And turn around and put it up. Drop step.
And into the. If she learned to the drop step, she'd be a walking 20 points. And she needs to run.
Yeah, she definitely is.
And in between this year and next year, she needs to just condition herself. She can do some rim runs, grab a rebound, give it up, and then she can
Run down the court. Yep.
She should be the most unstoppable player, potentially, that I've seen. Forget a 3-ball. If she can just dominate the free throw line down on both ends.
And she can.
She has the ability.
She has the ability.
She definitely has the ability. But she has grown too. From what she was
Early in the season
at the
to
first
now.
game
Yes,
to
most
now.
definitely.
It's like she was a newborn deer in the first game, and now she's a young cat. She's going to be a monster by the end of next year. And her junior and senior years,
She should be dominant.
she should be
Dominant.
nobody should want to play her at all. There should be talk about her in Plattsburgh. That's how dominant she should be playing. Nancy Fan is on fire.
James Sisters haven't been able to get going. That's a problem.
But Nancy Fan has
Nancy
been
Fan on fire. Fire.
Feed her the ball, and if Caitlin Richburg can stop playing
Like a
hero
second
ball,
before Caitlin's shot, I said she's going to bring some magic, and then she fires for 3.
if she's really good, the player that I think is the most comparable to her is Spencer Dinwiddie, because there's times where she's the best player on the floor, and then there's times where it's like, what on earth are you thinking now? And it's when she plays hero ball, when she's like, I'm the best player on the court, I can get by you, and there's nothing you can do to stop me. That's when she's so sweet, she's just sloppy.
But what I have seen is she's not being as reckless as she was early on. Before, she used to get by and just try and shoot the shot all the time. Now, when she sees she's not there, she's at least bringing it back out. She's steady, not just trying to do everything herself.
All right. I'll be here for Carrie. All right. This mic's been muted. Joe.
And keep, if you want, you could just bring them back.
Yeah, I'm going to shortly because I'll interview Gary.
No, you can bring them back now. I got it muted on here,
Okay.
so you're not going to be able to.
Turn it up, right?
Yeah, you can turn it up.
Okay.
Am I good to turn the camera around?
Yeah.
Yes. Just gotta wait for him.
That's fine. I'm catching my breath. Oh,
It's all right.
Of
All right,
course.
we are back here at the end of the first half. The Bulldogs are trailing 33-23. Zach Bunnick here with assistant coach Carrie Gehring. Carrie, the thing that we noticed in the beginning was you seem very defensive-minded. Would you agree with that?
yeah, I would definitely agree with that. I think like a big problem for us personally was like they were attacking us in transition, and we weren't really in the beginning of the game attacking them in transition, and we would kind of just like go and then pull the ball out. And the game was fast-paced, and they wanted to play fast-paced, so they were kind of controlling the tempo of the game, and we were kind of just playing into it.
At the start of the second quarter, as soon as Kaylin Richburg was on the court, I said that she's going to be bringing magic, and not even a second later, she fires for three, makes the basket. Did you feel that the team was going to do that?
Yeah, I actually said at halftime, I think that once Kaylin went in, I think that the game started to turn around because I think we have good point guards all around, but Kaylin is different from our other point guards. Our other point guards are like more distributors, and Kaylin is aggressive. She looks to attack, and like I said, like we weren't really being aggressive and looking to attack. So when she came in, she started to turn around the game, and like we were getting shots to fall. She's kind of picked up the tempo for our team.
Now, starting for the second half, we know that the Dolphins have come out with what looks like a completely different offensive push than we've seen in other teams throughout the league. Do you feel that your Bulldogs are going to have to change their game up defensively in order to counterattack?
No, I don't think that necessarily we're going to have to change our game. I think that we have to execute our game plan better. I think that in the first half, like I said, we weren't really controlling the tempo. And for us, that's a big thing. Like we control the tempo, we execute our defense, we execute our offense. And we weren't doing that, so I don't think we have to change our game plan for them. I just think we have to execute our game plan better than we were in the first half and giving better effort into that.
All right, well, I wish you best of luck in the second half.
Thank you.
All right, assistant coach Carrie Gehring, we're going to take a quick break. I'm going to bring back Pat Brown. We're going to have all live coverage for the second half here at Russ-Cott Gymnasium. We'll be right back. Were we even... These were low, that. You ready?
Yeah, turn it. Turn it, yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the West Quad Gymnasium as we're getting ready to start the second half of this very entertaining basketball game between the Bulldogs and the Dolphins. Right now, the Dolphins holding a 10-point lead, and I was not there to hear all of the interview that you had with Coach Gehring. What was she saying?
So Coach Gehring was saying that it was very defensive-minded in the first quarter. They knew that the Dolphins were going to be a very strong team, but what the Bulldogs did not do was they did not execute their own plays, and that's why they've been trailing throughout this entire game. But when I mentioned Kaylin Richburg coming onto the court and bringing in the magic, she felt the same thing as well. And she felt that the Bulldogs started to get their game back up and coming, and now we're going to have to see that in the second half. They're not going to be changing anything except playing their game.
All right, is Jamat going to be starting the second half, or did you get into that? Or
I did not ask, but by the looks of it, she will be starting. I think it's going to be the same starting five on the court for both teams.
Hopefully Jamat will not let the frustration get to her and play her strong game that she always does, being the skilled player that she is.
Should be fun. Should be a fun game nonetheless. It's been a fun game so far.
Brooklyn College has to shoot better all around. Right now, they're only shooting at 25.8% from the field.
And the Dolphins shooting at 50%. The big thing is foul shot attempts.
Yep.
Dolphins 5 for 6 at 83.3%, and the Bulldogs only 2 for 7. That is not like the Bulldogs at all. That's 5 points right there. They could have been trailing by 5. Instead, they're trailing by 10.
Exactly. So everybody's ready to go with this second half. The Dolphins are on the court. They're starting five. Go ahead.
At the scoring, the Bulldogs dominating the second quarter. The first quarter it was all Dolphins, 19-5, and then the Bulldogs came up. It was 18-14 in favor of the Bulldogs.
So they're going to start with the basketball. That is the Bulldogs with their starting five. Nope, I'm sorry. Richburg is going to start the second half in place of Pena. So it's Richburg and George in the backcourt with Jamat, James, Sarah, and Erica. So George now has it on the right side. Holding, gets a pick. George into the paint, over to Richburg. Richburg for three, no good. Good box out and rebound by McEwen. McEwen down, gets it into the paint to Avino. Good defense by Jamat, but McEwen shoots the three. Good rebound. Rebound put up and in by Tadaro. So CSI, as in the first quarter, gets the first bucket. They're up by 12. Richburg shouting out the play. Gets it to Jamat. Foul line. Holds.
Nobody in the paint.
Richburg. They got a double high screen. There it goes. Richburg puts it up high off the glass, but no good. Rebounded by Tadero. Tadero to Avino. George. Oh, they say she stepped out as she tries to save it to her teammate Erica, but good hustle by Taylor George getting back on defense.
Both attempts in the second half for the Bulldogs have been at the hands of Kaylin Richburg. She just can't seem to finish the play, but she's got the hustle.
And it's going to be a jump ball, but possession arrow is going to be for the Staten Island Dolphins as her, McEwen and George grappled for the basketball. So Tadero to inbound, 22 seconds on the shot clock, gets it to Schmitter. Schmitter to McEwen, guarded by George, into the paint to Tadero. Puts it up, no good, rebounded by Jamat. Jamat going down the court. Oh, what a move around McEwen! And Jamat hits her first basket of the evening.
Jamat, now she wants to dictate the play against these Dolphins. She wants to show that you cannot push her around like they did in the first quarter.
Over to Rogers on the right side, guarded by Erica James, goes baseline, puts up the shot, no good, taken away by Richburg. Richburg into the paint, double teamed and blocked. Now that is a play where you're into the double team, back out, let the teammates come down the court, reset the offense.
But at the same time, this is Kaylin Richburg we're talking about. We know that she had the knee problems in the last few years, so maybe you don't want to elect to do that quick stop and take a step back. You want to keep going with the momentum, but she still got a good opportunity.
Jamot missed that shot, tried to get the rebound. Rogers drives the baseline, gets it over to Dodaro, and an easy basket. And again, you can't allow that to happen.
It's not the same defensive-minded play that we saw in the first quarter.
No.
Now both teams are just rushing it to the basket.
Taylor George has it on the right side to Richburg. Richburg holds, gets a pick from Sarah James, gets it back to Sarah. Sarah for an open three. No good. Fighting for the offensive rebound. Erica James comes down with it. Reset. Richburg looking for Jamot. Jamot outside the block. Faces, goes baseline. Puts up the shot, block. And Brooklyn College has it. George with 7 on the shot clock. Swings over to Erica. Erica for 3. Good!
Now I can say nothing but net.
So now it's a 9-point lead, 7-10 left to go in the third quarter.
Dolphins still have the momentum offensively. Just watch how they move the ball.
Schmitter on the block, spins. Sarah James, nice high off the glass. Nothing to do right there. Good defense, a better shot.
Yeah, but still, it felt like she was being unchallenged in that play.
Richburg right to the basket and puts it in.
Richburg now wants to take charge for these Bulldogs, both her and Jamot. You're going to see a lot of them driving into the basket, getting the shots off.
Now this is what you want. You want to attack the Dolphins' defense. Rogers swings it over to McEwen. McEwen over to Darrow. And that's going to be an offensive foul as she used the elbow to get around George. And that's Rubisky's third foul and first team foul.
Nice work by Taylor George to get in the way of McEwen. No, excuse me, that wasn't McEwen. That was number 14.
14, that is Rubisky.
So good work by Taylor George to get in the way of Rubisky to draw the foul.
And now you have Goodman and Trembone checked in for Jamot and Richburg. 6:20 left to go in the third quarter. Bulldogs down by 9. Over to Erica James. Erica drives. Puts up the hook shot, but she gets fouled by Rubisky. Rubisky says, hey, where's the elbow? Where's the elbow? No, you got the foul call.
See, that's a good example of you're not in the right position to get a good clean shot off, but you know you're going to get fouled on the play. So just throw the ball up in the air and pray that nobody steals it.
And that's Rubisky's 4th foul, so she's going to take a long sit on the bench. In for her is Christina Arvello. So Erica James to shoot 2. She knocks down the first. First time this evening that the Bulldogs have hit their first free throw. Second shot is good.
2 for 2 on that play. Now the Bulldogs getting the opportunities they need.
They get the lead down to 7 with 6:10 left to go in the third.
Now I feel like I'm watching typical Dolphins Bulldogs basketball in the second half.
Trembone on Arvello. Into Schmitter on the block, down to McEwen, puts up the shot, no good! Rebounded by Erica James. Snatched it down, gives it over to Trembone. Trembone into the paint, picks it over to George. George into the paint, over to Goodman. Goodman back to George.
Well, I like the cycle.
She pulls it back out with 12 on the shot clock. Now it's down to 10 on the shot clock. George off the dribble, swings over to Trembone. To Labiner.
3 seconds.
No foul call. But she gets it up. He's saying it was a shot clock violation. I thought she got it up.
Questionable, but
yeah.
I'll side with the refs on that.
You wish you had replay to see when the light went off.
But the one thing that I liked about that sequence is the Bulldogs, you could tell that they weren't setting themselves up early on to get the shot off. They were just moving around very quickly. I think they planned it so that way they could get the shot off with like the final seconds.
Rogers over to McEwen, over to Arvello. Bell at the baseline, puts up the shot, no good. Rebounded by Labiner. Bad play by Labiner and gave away the easy steal to Rogers.
Nice work by Jada Rogers. Read it very quickly and was able to be very aggressive to steal that ball and get an easy layup.
So lead is 9. with 4:50 left to go in the third.
Still plenty of time.
Yes,
Still
plenty of
anybody's game.
time. I got to believe if the Bulldogs can finish this quarter down by like 6-5, that'll be good for them going into the fourth quarter as George knocks down the three.
And a timeout called by Coach Lang. I think the Bulldogs, now with the way that they're playing, they'll be able to pull within a possession to end the quarter. And there's still plenty of time left with 4:36 to go. And the Bulldogs are trailing 41-35. This is now the type of game that the Bulldogs were looking for, and they didn't have it in the first half. Now they have it in the second half.
This is the execution and the drive and the energy that Coach Lang has been looking for. And like I said early in the first half, that will lead to execution. The energy and the drive will lead to executing because right now they're getting the Dolphins on their heels.
Oh, yeah.
They're not letting them set up their defense. They're moving the ball around, forcing them to have to make switches, and in the switch, somebody's going to be open, and that's what they're doing.
Yeah, still a very great sequence for both teams.
So now on the court for Brooklyn College is Chanel Jamat and Nancy Pham. Pham 2 for 2 from three-point, and Brooklyn College going to the immediate press, full court.
Chalpena hasn't played any minutes thus far in the second half.
Ball to McEwen, switch over to Arvello. Arvello down to Rogers. Foster, no good! Rebounded by Arvello, puts it up, but Arvello with the offensive rebound.
That was Diana Todaro, number 13.
Oh, Todaro, sorry.
It's all right.
And that was Trembone getting over-aggressive, trying to get the pass to Jamat, and it's a turnover. 43-35, Dolphins up, 4:20 left to go in the third quarter.
This is what I was looking for in the first quarter, where both teams just both picking up the momentum, and now you're trying to see who's going to start making the mistakes.
Out of bounds, and a good job by the press by Bulldogs, making them throw the ball out of bounds.
Both teams, they're starting to pick it up more and more, and now you're just waiting for that defining moment where one team makes a mistake and the other team capitalizes. I haven't seen it yet. You think that you saw it when Rogers intercepted the inbound, but that was not it. You'll see it soon. I don't know who's going to do it, when it's going to happen, but you're going to see it soon.
Pham has it. Gives it over to Goodman. Goodman over for three. Bang! It's good.
That could have been it. That could have been the play there I was looking for.
So now the lead is down to 5. 3:40 left to go. Brooklyn College in the press. Gets it over to Foster. Foster to Rogers. Rogers pressing. Puts up the shot. No good. Rebound by Trembone. Trembone slow it down. She does a good job, and now she brings the ball back
There
up.
you go.
Swings it over to Pham. Pham fakes the three, goes into the paint, swings it over to George. George for three, no good. High rebound fighting, but taken and stolen by Goodman. Goodman over to Jamat. Jamat for three, no good. Rebounded by Foster.
Oh, if she made that three-point basket, this place would have erupted.
Oh, we got a game here, ladies. 3 minutes and 5 seconds left to go. Brooklyn College down by 5.
But those were the sequence of plays that I was looking for these Bulldogs. If they wanted to capitalize on any mistakes that the Dolphins would be making. We're starting to see it now.
So Rogers over to Arvello for three. No good. Rebounded by Tadeo. Where's the foul? They got the travel, okay.
They got the travel on
But
Trepone.
Tadeo just jumped right into the back of Nancy Pham, who had position, and no call.
I think because of how both teams were playing in these last few sequences, playing very aggressive, I think these officials are just letting it go. I could be wrong.
So the ball is going to be the Dolphins with Foster inbounding as Richburg came in for Trembone. 2:45 left to go in the third. Inbounded to Tadero to McEwen. McEwen down to the corner to Arvello for three. No good. Rebounded by Goodman. Goodman over to George. And knocked out of bounds by McEwen. And good job by McEwen stopping George from going down the court.
Usually players struggle to keep up with Taylor George. This time it's McEwen. Megan McEwen has just been all over Taylor George.
McEwen played the good angle there because Taylor was on the sideline, so she used the sideline to her advantage, and that's good defensive play. George has it now over to Richburg on the right side. She holds, gives it over to the corner to Nancy Pham. Pham looking for Jamat. Jamat on the right block, into the paint, puts it up off the glass and in.
Nice. That is the sweet spot for Chanel Jamat. And now you can see she is super excited for her team as they are now trailing by 3. We are now on the 1 possession play. The timeout is called by CSI Dolphins with 2:21 to go in this third quarter.
Zach, I don't want to take any credit for what's happening, but I did say if they can get it down to 5 or less, this is where you want to be, and that's exactly. And it's still 2 minutes left, so they can actually take the lead before going into the fourth quarter. But you gotta like the hustle, you gotta like the drive, and they're attacking on both ends of the floor.
Oh, absolutely, because they're now seeing the mistakes that the Dolphins are making. Bulldogs are starting to take advantage of it. Chanel Jamat is just very satisfied with how her team is playing now, and you can see she's super excited.
And she's playing within herself, using the frustration of the first half to her advantage and making sure that what she does is going to affect everybody positively. So the Dolphins are inbounding the ball. They're showing a light press. They gets it over to Tadero. Tadero back to Rogers. Rogers double teamed, and they call a foul?
I believe they did. Yeah, I think it's going against Nancy. Yep.
Yep, Nancy Pham, that's her first and the team's first. So Rogers to inbound, gets it over to Arvello. Christina Arvello guarded by Richburg. You got to watch that elbow. Throw it out of bounds. You see how she's extending her arm? That's not supposed to not be allowed. You're not supposed to be allowed to extend. You can put your elbow there, but you're not allowed to extend the hand out. They're letting them get away with it, though.
What do I know? I'm a goalie, and nobody's supposed to be in my crease.
Stay in the crease and don't get the goalie interference.
Exactly.
So Richburg bring the ball at top of the key, gets it over to George, over to Jamat. Jamat in the corner, back to Richburg.
Well, you don't want to get interfered with either in this game.
We got a foul against the Dolphins.
Pushing foul in the paint.
On number 15 against Arvello.
No, 13.
That's her second. 13?
Yeah, went to Tadaro.
That's Tadaro. That's her third. So now the Dolphins getting in some foul trouble here.
Dolphins are making mistakes. The Bulldogs are now playing aggressive.
Rubisky has 4 fouls. Tadaro just picked up her third. Ball inbounded to Jamat. Jamat holds, now dribbles into the paint. Puts up the shot, no good. Rebounded by 13, Tadero, and you're going to get Taylor George with the reach in, most definitely. She tried to poke it in and get
going against Nancy Pham.
Wow. I saw Taylor reach, but maybe Pham got her on the other side.
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
So Pham picks up her second, the team's second. And now it's going to be Sarah, Sarah James is going to come in for Dasha Goodman. Dasha Goodman with 9 points and 2 rebounds. 10 points and 2 rebounds. Ball's inbound to Foster. Foster goes back door to McEwen. Nancy Pham, good job taking it away.
Pham read the play very beautifully, was able to intercept the pass.
Pham running the point. That's a kick ball. Nope. So it's going to be 21 seconds left on the shot clock as now Schmitter's going to come in for 13 Tadaro.
So in that play, Pham, I think she wanted to bounce pass it in between the legs of Jada Rogers to get it to Taylor George. That's what it looked like.
Trying to be creative.
But still good work by Rogers getting in the lane.
Ball's inbounded to Sarah James. 19 on the shot clock. Sarah James calling for Richburg. Gets it back to Richburg now. Good job by Rogers trying to deny her the ball. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Puts up the shot and good! Richburg right at Rogers.
Nice driving from the right with the quick hook shot.
The lead is down to 1 with 1:05 left to go in the third. Brooklyn College pressing, almost, the ball is taken by Rogers and pushed.
Surprised there was no foul call on that collision.
I thought so, but I think what they did was both of them went after the ball at the same time and they both hit each other.
But I've seen plays like that where they both hit each other and the officials will call a foul on both players.
Pham just picked up her third.
So want to make sure you're not going to be whistled for a flagrant foul.
Well, that definitely wasn't flagrant. They both were.
No, I know that, but I've seen games.
I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
But I was more concerned about Kaylin Richburg because with the knee injury she's had in the past, especially with the way she fell. I'm just looking at her. I thought she was in pain, but she was just frustrated with 59.4 seconds to go. And
Jamat just sat down and Sarah Labina is in. She's on Foster. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Ball stolen by Sarah James. By Erica James. Gets it to her sister Sarah. Richburg's open. Holds it into the paint. Pulls it back out. 20 on the shot clock. Over to George. George to James. James steps back. Three-pointer. Off the rim. Sarah Labina trying to chase it down, but not able to get it. Oh, Erica James had an open three. Just did not fall. That would have put him in the lead by 2. 41.2 seconds left.
But nice fake pump to get away from the defender. Just couldn't finish that play. This place would have been erupting if she made that three-point basket to take the lead.
Ball to Arvello. Ball to McEwen. To Rogers. They break the press. Rogers back to McEwen. McEwen's open. Back to Rogers. Rogers in the corner for 3. No good. We got a foul. Hold on.
There wasn't proper coverage. Kayla Richburg was guarding both McEwen and Rogers, who was in the corner. I don't know who was supposed to be guarding Rogers.
Well, that's Labina's second. Non-shooting, 26.8 seconds, 6.8 second differential between game clock and shot clock. Forster, no good. Good job by Labina to deflect the shot. Erica James brings it down court. Gives over to Richburg in the left corner. Dribbles back to the front.
You don't need to go for the three-point basket.
Shot clock is off. 10 seconds. 9 seconds. Richburg, 5 seconds. Into the paint. Puts up the shot. Off the glass and in! Richburg hits the shot, and they take the lead at the end of the quarter.
Magic Hands strikes again for these Bulldogs as they now take the lead up by 1. Wow, this has been a completely different game than what we've seen in the first half. It has just been slow in the first, and now it is really picked up. And beautiful, beautiful work by Kayla Richburg all throughout this quarter. And that last play, just be very patient, nonchalant with the ball on the left, and then getting over to the right to get that basket.
That's what Richburg does so well. In a flash, she can go from a slow pace to taking off like a shot, beat Rogers to the basket, put it high off the glass, in right at the buzzer, and now Brooklyn College in control with momentum, but you have to maintain your poise because you know the Dolphins are going to make a run in this fourth quarter.
The head coach for the Dolphins, Nicole Sarconi, their second season, former Dolphin herself. I had an opportunity to see her play. She is just really ripping it, not necessarily ripping, but she's really getting her team motivated because they had a strong first half and now they've been almost nowhere. They're still getting some amazing looks, but to allow a team like the Bulldogs to walk in like that and to take the lead, that says a lot about these Dolphins considering the teams that they've had to face off against in this season. Not to mention, they're currently riding a 9-game winning streak.
And let's give credit to where credit due. Both these head coaches, well experienced, know this game, know their teams, and this is what you expect from two high-quality teams. This is the game that you want to see.
I really wish CSI was still in the CUNYAC because these two teams could have very well faced off against each other in the CUNYAC championship.
Most definitely. So Brooklyn College starts with the ball to start the fourth quarter and the lead. Sarah James has it, moves her sister, gets it to Richburg. The starters are back in the game for Brooklyn College. Richburg has a dribble, gets it to Jamat, and we got a foul on the pass. It's going to be on number 25, Schmitter.
Fouls away from the play.
Yes. That's her second, the team's first. And this is what you want to do. Get them in foul trouble early, get to the foul line and knock down foul shots. Ball inbounded to Jamat, and we got offensive foul on who? On Richburg, I think.
Richburg, yeah.
Trying to set the pick to get Jamat open. That's her second, team's first. So Brooklyn College in the press. McEwen over to Rogers. Rogers to Forster. Forster to McEwen. McEwen, fake, pump. But ball taken away by Richburg and picked up by Sarah. Sarah dribbles out. Gives it over to George. George, baseline, pulls it back. Gives it over to Jamat. Jamat pulls. Oh, she traveled. Yeah, she looked like she was going to take the three and then thought different. And when she thought different, she took the step before she put the ball on the ground.
I feel like the Bulldogs are just holding on to the ball a little too much than they want to. They want to just shoot the ball. They're only leading by 1. These Dolphins, they could easily take this lead back.
Ball stolen by Sarah James.
Even though that's the second steal in a row.
Jamat Baseline, puts it up and in! Jamont coast to coast, and now they're up by 3.
Foul?
Foul? For what?
A technical foul charge against Chanel Jamont.
Did you see what she did?
She may have said something.
Oh my gosh! You gotta let them exude some excitement. She just made a big basket. She probably yelled, something like, oh, come on.
Know.
So Schmidt knocks down the first free throw. Oh. And she knocks down both free throws. And Jamont's going to have to sit down. She has 3 fouls now. I wish we were down there to find out what they call that technical on.
Yeah, so now she's going to sit. She's probably done for the game.
No, most definitely will not be done for the game with 8:59 left.
You never know.
She'll be back with like maybe 5.5 left.
That's possible.
So the Dolphins will inbound the ball down by 1. Rogers gets the ball up to McEwen. McEwen double team. Now into the paint, gets it to Foster. Foster back to Rogers, top of the key. Guarded by Erica James.
All 10 players on the court are moving around. Nobody's standing still. This could be trouble for the Bulldogs.
So it is now number 3, DeMontro in. Rogers into the paint, throws it away. Should be Brooklyn College ball. And the head official says it's Brooklyn College ball. Erica James inbound, throws it into Richburg. Coach Alice Lang yelling the play out from the sideline. Richburg, George, the James sisters, and Dasha Goodman in for Brooklyn College. Richburg at the foul line, pulls it back out. Again, swings it over to Erica James, goes baseline, puts up the scoop, and does not get the roll, but pulls it. It's going to be jump ball, but possession arrow facing the Dolphins. Well, good job by Erica to follow her own shot and try to get the offensive rebound.
Bulldogs have not let up, which is a good sign to see, but they just haven't been able to finish these plays.
So now, again, into the press. Rogers has it, swings it back to McEwen. McEwen back to Rogers. Rogers gets it into the corner to DeMontro. DeMontro pulls it back out, guarded by Goodman. She brings it all the way back out, still dribbling, going around, gets it to Rogers. Rogers to Smitter. Smitter banks it in.
Dolphins regain the lead. 7:48 to go in this fourth quarter.
And they called a
ball went out of bounds.
Out of bounds. Now, Kayla Trembone's going to come in for Richburg. 7:47 left, and the Dolphins have a 1-point lead. But no team right now has momentum.
Right now it's up in limbo.
DeMontro inbounds it to Rogers. Rogers has it, guarded by Erica James. Gets it to McEwen, guarded by George. Over to DeMontro, guarded by Trembone. Back to Rogers. Rogers going into the elbow, double team. Gets it back to DeMontro. 15 on the shot clock, back to McEwen.
Smart by the Dolphins. They're not getting too caught up. They're playing very smart, very slow, even though they're moving fast. But what I mean by that is they're just not making mistakes up until that point.
Yeah, she dribbled into a triple team, no foul. Trembone pulls it down. Good job. Now into the paint. Gets it over to Erica James, a deep 3, no good. Sarah James gets a rebound, puts it back up, no good. Rebounded by Foster.
And their former teammate Foster just right in the paint. Just couldn't let Sarah James finish her
Ball
play.
stolen by George. 2-on-2. No, it's 3-on-2. Taylor George shoots the jumper, no good. And we got a whistle and
foul on the play.
Foul.
Calling
they call it hold
against the Bulldogs. Who is it going against?
I'm trying to find out who it is right now.
Trembone.
They gave Trembone. That's her first. The team's third.
Dolphins only committed 1 foul in this fourth quarter.
6:45 left to go. A 1-point lead for the Dolphins. DeMontreux double teamed. It's going to be a jump ball. Brooklyn College basketball. DeMontreux not being very smart. You never go into the corner facing the double team. You put yourself in the lose-lose situation. And she lost.
This is going to be very tight. You're not going to see a possession. You're not going to see the score differential go beyond like 5 points at this point.
Taylor George is going to take a rest right now as Kayla Trembone's going to come in. And they're going to allow Sarah Labina to come in for Sarah James.
Both teams are going to have an answer for each other offensively. That's just the style of play that we're seeing in this second half, and it's just been fun to watch.
Dolphins are pressing. Ball inbounded to Richburg. Guarded by McEwen.
She's got to cross center court. Now she does.
Calling the play out. Swings it over to Goodman. Goodman into the corner to Erica James, looking for Labina. Labina gets it, puts it up, and in. Good job by Labina, fronting Foster and getting to the basket.
Now Bulldogs have the lead once again, up by 1.
Ball stolen by Richburg.
Foster feeling a lot of pressure all over, just couldn't get to any of her teammates.
Trembone. No! She traveled. Oh!
She was in a good position to just drive forward, but I think she just hesitated.
This is where you have to slow everything down. When you have the lead and you have the ball on a turnover, you want to get a good shot. So take your time and let the offense set up.
She was in a good position, but you don't want to slow. Look, at times you want to slow it down. That was not one of those opportunities, and I think she was probably thinking maybe I should slow it down a bit. I don't know.
Swings over to McEwen. McEwen spots up, drives into the corner for DeMontreux. No good on the 3. Fighting for the rebound. Erica James comes away with it.
All right, these are lucky breaks for the Bulldogs. They have to take advantage of it.
Dasha Goodman on the elbow gets it back to Erica James. Erica James at the foul line. Down to Labina. No good, but rebounded by DeMontreux. Got to use the backboard.
DeMontreux almost stepped out of bounds as she was feeling the pressure from Labina.
We got a foul on Erica James, I believe.
McEwen draws the foul.
Yep, that's her second, but the team's fourth. One more foul, and you put the Dolphins on the foul line for the rest of the game, 5 minutes, 28 seconds, and you don't want to give them free shots to take the lead.
Yeah, and that's plenty of time.
So Nancy Pham checks in for Erica James. Foster gets the ball, holds it. She can't dribble, but she gets it to McEwen, guarded by Pham. 20 on the shot clock. Foster with a pick. Back to Foster. Foster in the paint. Gets it down low to Rogers. Rogers out to 14, and she traveled. That was Robisky. Good job defensively, again, forcing the Dolphins to do something they don't want to do.
They were forcing Rogers to get underneath the basket, just couldn't give her any opportunities to get any real plays going. And you know that Rogers has been very dominant offensively for these Dolphins, even though she only has 4 points tonight. But she's still making some serious plays, and that one was not one of them.
Foster now is out, and Schmitter is in for the Dolphins. Kayla Richburg over to Goodman. Goodman goes baseline, puts up the shot, no good. But we got a foul.
Goodman was hit in the face.
Yes. By, is that Schmitter? No, it's not. It's 13.
Todaro.
That's her third. No, that's her fourth. So now Todaro and Robisky both have 4 fouls. The next one, and they'll be DQ'd. If I'm Brooklyn College, I isolate them, go right at them.
Yeah, Todaro is staying in.
So Pham to inbound. Gets the ball into Goodman. Goodman to Richburg. Back to Pham. Pham. Oh, bad pass.
And now Todaro draws the foul. It looks like it's going against Pham again.
And that's the 5th foul. And that's Pham's 4th foul. So, yeah, the team is over the limit, and Todaro's going to go to the line to shoot 2.
So no substitutions for the Dolphins. Coach Lang has been known to bring in a substitution at the very last second. First shot is up.
And good. So tie ball game now. 48-48 with 4:48 left to go. A lot of 4s and 8s. Misses the free throw. And out of bounds by the Dolphins, Brooklyn College ball.
A lucky break for the Bulldogs. They would have been trailing by 1.
George to inbound, gets it to Richburg.
You could tell that the difference maker in this game is going to be those foul shot attempts.
Gotta believe Jamad is going to be checking in sometime soon. It's 4.5 left. Richburg over to George. George holding, pull it back, has a dribble. 14 on the shot clock. Over to Richburg. Richburg fakes again, shoots the 3. Off the glass, no good. Tadera with the rebound.
Yeah, that was way too high. You could see it from the moment it left her hands.
So Ewan now has it, guarded by George, over to Rubisky. Rubisky back to McEwen. McEwen off the dribble. And ball off and taken by Pham. Pham holds and dribbles. And brings the ball up herself. Gets it to Richburg. Richburg has it. Pham moves away from her. 20 on the shot clock, 3:50 left to go in the game, tie score.
Pham was feeling a lot of pressure, so good work by Kayla Richburg to come in from behind in order to get the ball and keep control.
George has a free look, shoots the 3, no good, short. Out of bounds. George was surprised he was that wide open.
I was surprised too, but not good to throw an air ball.
Kayla Trembone and Sarah James are going to check in for Richburg and Labiner. I am surprised that Jamot is not back in the game.
I think she's going to be sitting out the rest of this one because of the technical foul that was called against her. Coach Lang and athletic director Bruce Filosa, they run a tight shift here at Brooklyn College.
Double team, back to Rogers. Rogers to McEwen. McEwen to Rubisky. To Schmitter, puts up the shot and good. So now CSI takes a 2-point lead under 3.5 to go. Trembone over to Sarah James. Sarah James looking for Goodman, but back over to Pham. Pham spots. Back into the corner of Trembone. Guarded by Rogers, 16 on the shot clock. Into the paint, puts up the hook shot. No good. Pham takes it away to George. George puts it up, no good.
3 times a charm.
No, partially blocked by Rogers and out of bounds, so 20 on the shot clock. And now Pham's going to go out and Erica James is going to come in. 2:56 left to go, down by 2. The Bulldogs are 50-48.
And a full timeout call by Coach Lang of the Bulldogs. Now, try to figure out words now. This has just been a wild second half for both teams, and amazing work by the Bulldogs to catch up, even though they're now trailing by 2. But I know that you're disappointed that Chanel Jamad is not in when you really need somebody like her in the paint in order to make the baskets and to block everything. But Bulldogs are going to have to be playing without her at this point, and they're getting the contributions from Dasha Goodman. They're also getting it from number 30, Sarah Labiner. But amazing work by Kaylin Richburg, just really helping her team out and getting the magic done.
Running the offense, being effective, changing the pace, scrambling after loose balls, just doing the little things that don't show up on the score sheet. But right now it's going to come down to, like I said, and you said earlier as well, executing when you have to execute. And that's the job right now for both these teams. Who's going to execute the better in these last 2 minutes and 56 seconds.
And what we're seeing offensively for the Bulldogs, they're moving very well around the perimeter. They're feeling a lot of pressure. They're now finally been able to penetrate the paint, but they're also taking a bunch of ill-advised shots. You kind of want to, I know you want to slow it down a bit to a certain extent, but you want to be able to set yourself up in the right position or to get the shots off. And you think you have it, but based on the pace of the game, you really need to know yourself in order to get the shots off and make it in. And I honestly don't know what's going to happen next here.
Ball's ready to be put in play. Got to get the ball in. Gets it to Goodman.
There you go.
Get back to George. 18 on the shot clock. See what they have to run after the timeout. George into the paint. Over to Trembone. Trembone to Erica James. Erica James drives. Off the glass. No good. Rebounded by Janelle. Oh, McEwen's going for a fast break.
Look at Trembone.
Puts it up and in. 4-point lead now for Dasha Goodman. Shoots the three. Bow! Off the rebound. No good. Gets it over to McEwen. McEwen now bringing the ball up. George from behind, and she got the foul.
Yeah, now the Dolphins are starting to pull away.
This is where you didn't want to do, put them on the foul line. Now all they can do is make points, and the clock doesn't run. It's a 4-point lead. McEwen now going to the line.
But now Kalen Richburg is getting ready to check in for the Bulldogs. So now you get to see some serious scoring.
But McEwen just missed the first free throw.
It's a lucky break for the Bulldogs. They're not going to allow the substitution.
And she knocks down the second.
Now they allow Kalen Richburg to come in. Kayla Trembone will sit for the Bulldogs. Still anybody's game, 2:19.
Yes, it is.
I'm loving this.
5-point lead, 2 possessions still. So Richburg, Goodman, George, and the James sisters. Really want one of these James sisters to get hot. George, 14 on the shot clock, into the paint, puts it up, no good. They get the foul call on number 1, McEwen. That's her first foul, team's third. And George will go to the line to shoot 2.
It's going down to the wire. You know what this is reminding me of? You watched Saturday night's game between Duke and North Carolina?
Yes. Oh, George misses the first.
The Bulldogs have been able to hit all of their free throws. They would have had a big lead at this point.
George makes the second. 4-point lead. Rogers brings the ball up. Under 2 minutes left to go. Erica James at the top of the key, guarding George. Schmitter gets it to Rybisky. Rybisky into the corner to Rogers. Rogers looking, swings it over to Rybisky. Rybisky cut off to McEwen. McEwen baseline, puts up the jumper and knocks it down. And that's what the leading scorer does. Knocks down good shots. Richburg brings it up. Swings it over to Goodman. Goodman into the corner to Erica James. Erica James looking for Sarah on the block. Gets it back to George. George is going to be a jump ball. And man, oh man, possession goes back to the Dolphins.
And now the Bulldogs, they appear to be losing gas with 1:18 to go. And the Dolphins are looking to capitalize on these turnovers.
1:18 left to go. Inbound to Rybisky. Rybisky back to McEwen. Eventually you're going to have to foul because they're going to run time off the clock.
Taylor George whistled for the foul, but from our vantage point, it looked like McEwen sold it.
Yeah, with a shoulder.
It's the second time I've seen Megan draw the foul like so.
McEwen to shoot. Misses the first.
That's the difference maker for both of these teams. Both teams, I believe, are shooting less than 50% at the charity stripe in this game.
McEwen puts up the second and knocks down the second. Timeout called. Now down by 7 with 1:06 left to go. Not impossible to come back from this.
And both teams have at least, I think they both have at least 2 timeouts left. But what the Bulldogs need to do is they need to move very fast offensively and get the shots off and hopefully make the baskets. Don't take the ill-advised shots. And then as soon as the Dolphins have it, you got to foul them. Because based on how the Dolphins have been shooting with the charity stripe, you can tell that is another one of their weaknesses. So even though there's 1:06 seconds to go, this could very well take another 10, 15 minutes to finish.
It's possible, very much possible. For Brooklyn College, either it's going to be a very good open look 3 or a quick 2 and then get on the defensive press and foul immediately and save time. Hopefully they miss. You get the rebound, run back down the court again.
And then once this is over, the Bulldogs go to Manhattan. They play the Baruch College Bearcats.
And I believe you and Jonathan Pariente is going to
Yes,
have the
we
call.
will. But for now, I'm enjoying in what could very well be the very last battle of the Verrazano between the Lady Bulldogs and the Lady Dolphins.
That's right. This is going to be the last meeting. Richburg puts up the quick 2. And now immediately they go into the press. Rogers, he got a foul. Oh!
Are they calling it against Richburg or
Yeah, they're calling against Richburg. I thought Rogers just plowed into her right there.
that's what it looked like as well, but
Yeah.
nonetheless, the call is in the books.
So Richburg picks up her third.
And with 55.9 seconds to go,
Rogers to the line.
she only has 4 points tonight. Very good offensively, but let's see how she does with the charity stripe.
Shots up. Knocks it down.
The one person on the Dolphins you do not want to foul.
McEwen.
No, well, you don't want to foul her, but the one that you really don't want to foul who will make the baskets is Foster, but she's on the bench.
Rogers misses it. Richburg quickly up the court. Puts it up. Off the glass. No good. Oh, they call an offensive foul. That's 4 on Richburg.
Coach Lang does not like that call.
6-point lead, 48.5 seconds. You got a foul.
She gets away with one. Now they call the foul.
Erica James, that's her third. So going back to the stripe. And it's McEwen on the line.
Offensively, you could tell that the Bulldogs are getting the ball to Kayla Richburg to just drive in and make the quick baskets. That's what I was saying. You just got to make the quick baskets and then foul the Dolphins. And that's what we're seeing.
She misses the first one again. That's 3 straight times.
But these are lucky, very lucky breaks for the Bulldogs because both teams have not been doing well at the charity stripe in this game. That's very unusual to see considering how offensive-minded both of these teams are throughout the season.
Knocks down the second. Brooklyn College has to quickly get the ball up. 40 seconds left to go. Goodman's wide open. Erica James. Back to Richburg. Out of bounds.
Right,
Goodman's been spotting at the top of the key. If somebody would see her, she's open. Ball inbound to George. George off the dribble. Over to Goodman. Blocked! The three-pointer blocked by Rubisky.
And the shot clock is now off with 27.6 seconds to go. CSI with a big 58-51 lead. You know, the Bulldogs are 8-0 in CUNYAC play, but if the Dolphins were still in CUNYAC, they would be 8-1, soon to be 8-2, perhaps, if the score does not change any significantly. Officials are getting together.
Yes, trying to see what.
I think they were granting a substitution for the Dolphins.
Now, she stopped the substitution, and she's putting up a number and trying to figure out. I think the foul is going to be on Erica James, but then something else is going on. So we don't know right now. We just have to wait and see.
Okay, so that's what it was. And then I thought I saw a sign for a tech.
Yes, that's what I thought too.
Or maybe he was asking if it was
for
a tech or not.
For excessive celebration, I guess. I don't know.
No, not in this case.
Well, nope. It looked like it's just going to be a foul, and they're going to shoot the free throw.
Not sure what's happening here, but
yeah,
27.6 seconds to go. Dolphins are leading 58-51. 5 fouls against Todaro. Is she?
What is going on? It's a technical against Brooklyn?
I am now very confused.
We're all puzzled. We have no idea what's going on.
We hope to get an explanation later, but
Robisky misses the first free throw.
But I'm also fairly certain that Todaro of the Dolphins fouled out.
And she hits the second. So there was a technical foul. So they shot the free throws, and now the technical foul, and Brooklyn College will have the basketball.
Gotcha. Okay.
Taylor George to shoot the technicals. Knocks down the first one. 7-point deficit.
At least
She knocks this one down. It gets it to 2 possessions.
At least we got an explanation.
And she does.
Good. And now the Bulldogs still have possession.
Yep, 2 possessions, 27.6 seconds. Still a lot of time left to knock down 2 threes. But it's got to be a quick 3 and a quick foul.
Dolphins have 4 fouls committed against them, so 1 more, and then the Bulldogs will go up to the charity stripe.
Good observation.
I know how to count.
You're a goalie. You have to.
To count? No. As a goalie, I have to make saves. As an accountant, I have to count.
That works.
Yeah, there you go.
Got to get the ball in. Gets it to Goodman. Goodman to George. George drives. Puts it up. No good. Rebound to George. Over to Erica James for 3. Good! She knocks it down. It's a 3-point lead. 16.3 seconds left to go.
Coach Lake calls a quick timeout. Beautiful, beautiful play by these Bulldogs, and now they are trailing by 3. Still anybody's game at this point.
But the hustle and determination from Taylor George went to the layup, missed it, fought for the offensive rebound, saw Erica out the corner of her eye, got her the basketball. Erica James with ice in the veins, drills it from the left corner.
Yeah, you can tell she has not broken a sweat in that play. Just beautiful all around. But now we've seen them always getting the ball to Kaylin Richburg. I'm curious if they're going to do that again. Dolphins now going to have possession. The only thing that I could say that you really need to do is just foul them.
Yeah, you have to foul.
They've been doing terrible charity stripe, and the shot clock is off, so you have no choice but to foul them. I don't know who's going to be on the court, but get it to whomever. They haven't been doing that great. But then on the flip side, I think the Dolphins might do the same thing. Once the Bulldogs get possession, they're going to try to foul them, and the Bulldogs have also been struggling at charity stripe.
If I'm the Dolphins, I don't do that until they run some time off the clock, because you know they're going to be racing trying to get up the court. So right now, like you said, Brooklyn College is going to have to foul immediately, so hardly any time runs off the clock.
It depends on if they don't make both baskets. If they don't make both baskets, you got to foul them. If they do make either basket, you don't need to foul the Bulldogs at all, because it's a 3-point differential. That's the math. And a full timeout was called by the Dolphins.
Yes.
Just without any play going on. They needed that extra time.
I think she called a timeout so they can inbound the ball at half court and not under the basket.
You could do that.
So they get the option now to inbound the ball. That's very smart. So now you don't have to go the full length of the court. You only got to go to half court. It doesn't matter for Brooklyn College. When the ball gets inbounded, you commit the foul.
Yeah.
The question is, who do you foul?
They're going to get it to McCune. Without a doubt, they're going to get it to McCune. And, she's about shooting around 50% from the charity stripe in this game, so might as well. Look, all they need at this point is just one
point. Miss. Right.
They just need that one basket in, and then, the Bulldogs will do whatever, and then the Bulldogs are going to be fouling the Dolphins again.
If I'm Brooklyn College, I'm double-teaming McEwen, not allowing her to get the ball at all, and make somebody else beat you from the free throw line. Even though you're right, she has missed the front end of the foul shots in this game, but she is your most lethal scorer, so I don't think you want to put her on the line, though.
17 points.
It's going to be very interesting.
They're going to get it to McCune. You just know it.
And look they're making them inbound it from under the court. No, they're not. Like I said, they should be half court. Trying to get it in. 5 seconds.
Just trying to fool you.
And McEwen gets it.
See, I told you they were going to get to McEwen.
They did. They got it to her, but they did try to double her. She had to run all the way back around to get away from it.
They knocked 3 seconds off the clock.
Yep. Almost a 5-second violation.
Good
Still
thing,
McEwen to shoot 2.
good thing I don't have curfew tonight. First shot is up, and it is good. All
She
right.
knocks down the first one.
It's exactly what the Dolphins needed. I'm not suggesting that they could just be relaxed and not make the second one. They certainly want to make both. But this will now really help the Dolphins
And she does.
to defend this lead that they've been able to regain.
5-point lead with 13.7 seconds. It's not insurmountable.
Goodman
Over to
on the
Kayla
court.
Richburg. Richburg quickly up the court. Taylor George puts up the 3. It's going to be short.
Doesn't
That's
hit
going to be it.
anything.
That's going to be the end of the game because it's 2.7 seconds, 5-point lead. And listen, hard-fought game between these two rivals. And it came down to the Dolphins executing much better when it mattered.
These two teams have had some serious battles between each other. And the battle is just about over
Foster misses the first.
as Staten Island will now be leaving officially the CUNYAC. Maybe they will get a chance to play against Brooklyn at some point in the near future.
Maybe. And the shot is good. And the ball was thrown out of bounds by Erica James. That just insult to injury right there. 6-point lead. And basically right now, the Dolphins can just run the clock out. Inbound the ball to Schmitter. And that's going to be it. End of the ball game. CSI takes both games of the home and home. 62-56 is the final score. And for CSI, they will be going to Division II next year. And we don't have the final stat sheet right now, but unofficially they were led by Megan McEwen. She has 18 points,
Yeah.
followed by Deanna Tadero. She had 13 points. But listen, you can't emphasize enough how important it is to execute down the stretch in close basketball games against good opponents.
Oh, absolutely. And that's all the Bulldogs are going to be facing from here on out.
Yes.
I felt that they played a very good second half. They just came out really strong. And then once the Dolphins knew what they were doing, they were able to match the intensity and just take the ball in the last second away from the Bulldogs. But just good performance all around from everybody. But you're right. Megan McEwen just dominated everybody on the floor with 18 points. And it was just an outstanding performance for her and her Dolphins.
Yes, it was. And give all the credit to the Dolphins. They came and did what they needed to do. Come into a hostile environment. Take it to them early. They had some pushback. They had to fight their way back into the game, and they did what they had to do. For Brooklyn College, just looking forward, okay, this is a rival team, but it doesn't count in the conference. So you're still undefeated in the conference.
Yeah.
So you're still above everybody else. But now you have 2 back-to-back games against opponents that you need to beat, with Baruch coming up and then John Jay, which you've already beaten, but that doesn't mean anything because right now everybody's fighting for position.
Yeah.
And you're on the top of the mountain. Everybody's got that target ready to take you down.
And Wednesday night is going to determine whether the Bulldogs are going to be locked in for either the first or the second seed, unless they lose the game and they possibly drop back to the third seed. They want to get that bye because they don't want to play in the quarterfinals. But the semifinals, if they're the higher seed, they'll be playing here at Brooklyn College.
Which is exactly what you want, and that's what they've been playing for. And let's look at it overall picture. The Bulldogs control their own destiny. Yes, their winning streak is over, but it's not over in the conference. That's the main thing we want to stress. The conference is what's important, and that's a big game going into a hostile environment at the Arc Arena. You and Jonathan's going to have the call. I'm definitely going to be tuning in to listen. I want you guys to tune in too because it's going to be hellacious. I'm just going to say that because it's always hard to play at Baruch no matter what position you're in.
Yeah. Should be fun.
I know you're going to have a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Final stats we do not have, but listen, it was a great game. I hope you enjoyed it. It's Pat Brown, Zach Budnick, Joe Leo, the producer. We're going to say goodnight in about half an hour. Tune in as Zach's going to have the play-by-play. I'll do the color for the men basketball.